Once again, welcome to video lecture for English language class 10th. Children, today we shall study comprehension. Now this is question number 4 of your paper and it comprises 3 parts. A is some words are given from the passage and you are asked to write the meaning. Then B, it is answers that you have to write for the questions. And C is the essay writing. Now I shall go into the details of it, but first let me tell you one thing, children. Usually children take it for granted and then they do not work to make or score better. In fact, this question of your paper is the most scoring one. You have 20 marks for it. And children, rest assured, you can easily get 20 out of 20 here. Only thing is you need to apply some tactics. Now, what are those tactics? I shall discuss with you. But before that, let me tell you one thing, children. We have always been dreaming. Wish I had the book for the examination. Wish I had the chapter right in front of me before I wrote the answers. In fact, it's very similar to that. Exactly that. The story is right in front of you. The passage is there right in front of you. The questions are all based on your passage only. Comprehension means to understand. And this passage, comprehension passage through words for the meanings, questions for the answers and essay tests your language skills. And very scoring as well. Now what you need to do to score well? First of all, I'll tell you how to attempt it. It's not just that you read once and you start answering. No, that is not the way at all, children. So let's go about it. You get 15 minutes time to read your question paper. Utilize that time for the first reading. Now this first reading is very important. And it will surely happen when you read it for the first time, it may go bouncer. Means you may not understand well. You'll just understand maybe say 10% of it, of the passage, the meaning that the passage is trying to convey. Now this 10% is not bad, children. It's extremely good. And even if you don't understand anything, also this reading will at least give you an idea about what the passage is about. Even that is enough. Children, the very important thing about reading first time the passage is that you get an idea about the passage. That's all. And children, one more thing about the comprehension passage is this, that it's not that you need to know or understand 100% of it. No need. Even if you understand around 60% of it, it's good and good enough to answer and scoring well in that. So first of all, be confident. That's very important. Your first reading maybe just a 10% of the understanding that you will gain of that passage. No need to panic. This is very important. Please do not panic at the first reading. So once you have read it, once during that 15 minutes time that you get for your reading, be calm with whatever you have understood. Now the next part, when you start attempting it, maybe immediately or maybe after some time when you have attempted your other parts or other questions. So when you start attempting it, please read it once more before starting to answer it. Now the second reading will surely make your understanding, make you comprehend the passage better. It will. Read it with all the concentration, and this is what the passage is all about, to test your language skills, to test how much have you understood the language. So go for the second reading, and after the second reading, what you need to do now is read the questions that is given. A, B and C, all the three, that is the words that are given for meanings, questions that are given to answer, and the question that is given for your essay writing. Read all those. Read it. Mark my point, because this reading of your questions will make you understand the chapter or that passage better. You know, once you will read those questions A, B and C, you will immediately realize that you have understood the passage a little more. And then after reading those questions, go for the third reading, and you will see a marked difference in the understanding level. It will surely improve. It will go high. And if you have understood even 60% of the passage, what the meaning is conveyed through the passage, children, you can answer your questions very well. So please do away with all the fear that you have of the passage understanding. First reading, second reading, read the questions, and then when you read it for the third time, you will immediately understand what to write for the answers, for the questions, what answers. Because those questions are there in your mind. And now that when you're going and reading it the third time, those questions will make you feel that you are able to understand, because slowly with that questions, your answers, you are immediately able to recognize, okay, this is the answer for the first one, this is the answer for the second one, this is the answer for the third one. And you know, this thing will make you feel better. A better feeling of understanding the passage will come, and this will make you write better. Now one more thing about the passage, children. These passages are extracts, at times from some speeches, famous speeches, from some novels, from some stories, a part of it, or an account or an extracts from some other dramas or something, can be taken from anywhere. So these are not the complete thing, and you need not know the complete thing also, because your questions are based on what the passage is given. It will test your language skills, test your understanding of the passage. So there is nothing that will come from something beyond the passage. And you need not also write also beyond the passage. For example, you might have read the Mahatma Gandhi's book, My Experiment with Truth. Suppose a passage comes from there. Now that doesn't mean that because you have read the book, you need to write your answers in such elaborate manner as if to show that you are more informed about that extract. Not at all. Please do not attempt that way. Write the answers of the questions read the questions and write exactly to the point, because that is what is being tested. Your answering skill also. You have to remove what is not important, what is not required, and write answers exactly what is required. Your questions give you the clue to write what is asked, what is desired, not anything and everything. So this is very important about the answers. Now let's go on to question number 4a, that is word meanings. Now regarding word meanings, usually children say that's a very difficult part of the comprehension passage, and it's not difficult, it's about how much you are good, have been reading all through the books, and how good is your vocabulary, no doubt. But then children land up making mistakes here. What are the general mistakes that are made by students? Now what they do is, sometimes they know the meanings, but when they write it, they land up getting no marks for it. Why? Because they do not write in the proper tense. Then children, the best way of making out whether your meaning or the tense is correct is to wherever that word is given in the sentence, remove that word from there. Whatever the meaning that you have selected, put that meaning, read the sentence again, and if it reads properly, grammatically correct, you know that your tense is correct. For example, let's take this word. I've written this word, designed for displaying ornaments. The sentence is, if you are not able to be very clear with this, just I'm reading it out, you may write it so that you can understand better. Designed for displaying ornaments. Now the word that has been asked is the meaning of displaying words. Continuous tense, and you need to use the same tense in your meaning also. So displaying means exhibiting. Exhibiting. Suppose you remove this displaying and use a design for exhibiting ornaments. Fits the tense also. So it is correct. But suppose in place of exhibiting you write exhibit. Does it fit design for exhibit ornaments? No. It is wrong then. So you need to write the tense exactly what has been used in the word. So the meaning will have the same tense of the word. Now, if the sentence reads like this, designed to display ornament, the word is display. Here the meaning will go as exhibit. Then if it is, suppose the sentence reads like this, it displayed ornaments beautifully. Now the word that is asked is displayed. Now for this, what meaning are you going to write? Exhibit, exhibiting, or exhibited? Well, exhibited. Exhibited, you are using the past. It displayed, it exhibited ornaments beautifully. So I hope you understand this part, how to write the meaning, because it happens in so many cases. You know the meaning, but you land up writing it in the wrong tense. See children, the best way to find out is to extract that word, and whatever meaning you have selected, put that meaning there in place of it, and then reread the sentence, and you'll come to know whether you are using the correct tense or not. Okay. So the next is question number 4b. That is answers to the questions. Little bit of it we discussed also, but there are certain other things also, children. Children, one thing that usually children have in their mind is question number 1 must be there somewhere in paragraph number 1. Question number 2 will be somewhere in paragraph number 2. Question number 3 will be picked up from paragraph number 3. Please do not indulge into such thinking, because then what you do is you land up writing the whole paragraph for the answer, and that is a blunder. That's a big mistake that you are making, because not everything is to be answered. Answer should be in the answer way. What has been asked, read the question and answer it. It may have parts, so answer all the parts. And children, remember one thing, when they put up in your exam for your boards, I'm talking about, the questions are put in such a manner that you should be able to answer it in 2 or 3 sentences, not more than that. So it doesn't mean that if you write 1 or half a page answer, you will get more marks. Not at all. This is not done here in this world. Please do not try to indulge into such practice. It will land up getting you poor marks. So read the questions well. Your answers are there from the passage. There is nothing that comes out of the passage. You need to look for your answer carefully and write exactly what is required. And yes, a very important part, do not miss on the keywords. Keywords, please don't put up or try to explain in your own words those keywords. Please write the keywords exactly in that. Of course, you should be putting up answers or answering it in your own words, changing the tense as required for your answer style. That is there, of course, but you shall not miss on your keywords. Then there are certain other mistakes that children do. That is, when they get the question, they don't read it properly. Like, select a word which gives the meaning that the person was not able to work properly. Suppose I'm just giving you an example that this is the question. So, what has been asked? Which word in the passage says that the person was not able to walk properly? And the word is lame. Write that word lame exactly and put that in inverted comma or just underline it. Do not write the whole thing, the whole paragraph where that word lame comes. Only a word is asked, so write the word. So read that. Or if words, then look for those words. He was lame. So write that. He was lame. And if a sentence, read that question properly. It comes for usually 1 mark or and so read that question properly. It may come as, write the sentence that says that the person was not able to walk properly. So choose the sentence, exact sentence. Please do not try to put into your words. You just have to copy and paste it there. You understand copy and paste very well. You're all tech savvies, you all use mobiles. So just copy that sentence and paste it exactly in the complete verbatim in your answer. Do not change anything. You may underline that exact sentence, but do not indulge into trying to put that in your own words or trying to put that into, if it is in direct speech, indirect, or indirect to direct. Nothing like that. Exactly, it has to be copied and pasted. If it is sentences, look for that. 2 sentences. What it means? 2 sentences. If it is sentence, 1 sentence means 1 sentence only. and please specify it by underlining it or putting it in inverted commas. This is very important. Then comes, because this was about the question answers, then question number 4C, that is presse writing. Now what is presse writing? Children always get scared, and it is of 8 marks. Your word meaning is of 3 marks. Your answers are of 9 marks, and then your presse is of 8 marks. And you know what? Children take it as something that has to be put in 50 words and they get scared. This is where you need not be scared, children. Forget the word for the time being, the word presse, or the question that says describe this thing, or whatever the question is, in 50 words. Forget it's written in 50 words. This 50 words thing, you just skip for the time being. For the time being, I'm asking, not that totally. For the time being, read what is asked. The question, read the question. Describe the character of the person from the story or from the passage. Now, whatever is written, this is, I'm just giving you an example. Suppose the question, describe the character of the person from the passage in 50 words. Now, this in 50 words, forget for the time being. Just as you have attempted, your question number 4B, you wrote answers, exactly that way you write the answer first. So describe whatever is there for the description in the passage, write that. Once you have written that, okay, once you have written, described all the features that is given in the passage to describe that person, okay, write that. You may write it in points, you may write it in a paragraph. So once that is done, now what you need to do, now you can get an idea, of course it is more than 50 words. So what you need to do is compress your points, because at times it may be that 2 qualities are given separately. You may use and write those 2 qualities together. Do not miss on any of your points. Only what you need to do is compress. Just compress your points and then count and make it 50 words. Once you have made 50 words, now what you need to do is, see, all that will be done in your answer scripts only. Doesn't matter, that is your rough work, and nobody goes through your rough work. Mention there rough work, or you may just cut that with a line once, or mention that this is the rough work. So once that is done, then you have these horizontal lines. Okay. Okay. Now what you need, this is the margin. So what you need to do is write fair grid, and you need to make grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 is enough. You make 10 lines, or if it is 6, like that. Okay. You need to, 5 is enough for you for a inner sentence. Okay. That means you need to make 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So this grid is made. Okay. He was a tall. Now see, each word, even this article, is considered as a word. Okay. So if it is a name, like if it is James William. Okay, so this will be considered as two words. Okay, so or handwork. At times people write like this. It is considered as one word. Okay, with a hyphen it's considered as one word, but this will be considered as two. So always put this in a grid and see that you make it 50 words only. 50 words means 50 words, children, not more than that. So you need to compress it and make it 50 words. Please do not take away any points that is there in the passage to describe or whatever the question has been put. This is very important because you have marks for each points. Now how your marking scheme is there for this, you are pressing, you around 6 points be there, plus 2 marks are given for expression, so that makes 8 marks. 6 plus 2 for expression. Means your, of course, how you have expressed it in the language, your grammar, your syntax, your punctuation, your spelling, all that comes under the expression category. So that is of 2 marks and 6 are for your 6 points. So it's not difficult, is it? You have this passage, everything is there. You need to only look out for the answer from the passage. Then there are certain questions that requires to read between the lines. So decipher, to state, all that words are used. What you conclude of, what you feel, what is your opinion about. So there can be a question based on this also. So this is all about your comprehension passage. I hope when you are attempting it, you will keep all these points that I explained today in your mind. You will not panic. Children, when you are there in the examination hall, stress level is high, no doubt. So what you need to do is you need to practice. So you need to take some passages for your practice, set your time and attempt it, so that stress level during the examination time is reduced. Okay, now what you need to do is this, you will read question chapter 4 of your passage of your total English, and from there test paper 4, chapter 4, test paper 4. Please read the comprehension passage from that test paper and try to solve it. So all the best, do well. And children, one more thing, please keep doing, because one more part of it, that is your test papers are there in your chapters 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So test paper 1, test paper 2, test paper 3, test paper 4 and 5. Please start solving it in the workbook itself. Test papers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and especially question number 5, A, B, C, D of test papers 2, 3, 4 and 5. I repeat, test paper 2, 3, 4 and 5, question number 5, A, B, C, D. Please do it. And then there is an assignment column also there. Assignment column, there's on the grammar exercises are there. Please try to complete that also soon. So all the best. Revise everything for your English language papers when you come to take your examination, children. Don't take it for granted that it's English language and there is nothing to study. We are giving you points so that you may write it, and when you are preparing, you just revise and come prepared. Thank you. All the best.